Welcome to another edition of the Straub Bro Sports Show. Big Bro Ken checking in with you with little bro Drew. Little bro, how are you? Other than looking,
we are fantastic, and the reason is because it hit 60 degrees this week. You kidding me? Oh, I did a walk down East 9th on Monday. Just got a little sunshine, and of course, I had to make sure everyone knew it was fake spring, and we're back down to 20 degrees. So it is what it is.
Absolutely. That didn't last long, as usual. But thank you for checking in with us here on the Straub Bro Sports Show. Whether you're checking in with us on the Straub Bro Sports Show YouTube page, where you can like and subscribe, and I can continue to drop my phone, which is why we were late to begin with. You can subscribe there and find everything that you need. Straub Bro Sports Show, your one-stop shop for everything Straub Bro Sports Show. Interviews, podcasts, all of the above. Let's go, Pops. You already know. You can also find the Straub Bro Sports Show all over social media, on X, Straub Bro Sports, TikTok, the SBSS, Instagram, Straub Bro Sports Show, Spotify, the Straub Bro Sports Show. Don't touch the Spotify yet. It's not updated. I got you. I promise.
Neither is the TikTok or the Twitter, so.
Hey, those two are a little bit on you. Instagram's constantly flowing with
for sure
with stuff as well. While you are on the Instagram, but also check out my Facebook page. Make sure you're also following Rico McGee of the Rulers Minute, where you can find my recent interview with CSU women's head coach Klinsmeyer and point guard Mickey Purdue. Awesome interview with them. Me and Rico double teamed that one. It was amazing. Coach Klinsmeyer has been awesome. I got to do a bunch of stuff with them last year when I was able to cover some CSU games. One of those games, I did get to interview Mickey Purdue. She was an amazing interview, and she was great this week as well. She's a senior now. She's really stepped in and blossomed them into that leadership role. We talked a little bit about that. Check that out for me as well. And without further ado, let's get to the news, bro. And it's time to spread the news. And what do you do when you spread the news? You also spread the wave. We want to give a huge shout out to the Cuyahoga Falls Rapids, as we are the official broadcast team. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube page, as that will be the official broadcast home for the Falls Rapids. We'll be there for all preseason and regular season games. And a big shout out to our guys over at Sports Take Gridiron, as they'll be broadcasting our games over in the UK and in Ireland. Make sure you catch our interviews on the YouTube page, and make sure you follow the Falls Rapids on Facebook at the Cuyahoga Falls Rapids, on Instagram at Official Rapids, and get your Rapids gear at fallsrapids.myshopify.com. Hashtag spread the wave. We rocking with it. See, did a little update, making it go well. I have no idea why it didn't cut our picture off like that, but hey, who cares? All right, shout out to our Falls Rapids. We are the broadcast team. May cannot come soon enough. Quick update, got 2 interviews this week. One of those will be dropping next week. Speaking of the Rapids, speaking of their commercial, speaking of being the broadcast team, joining us in the comments, none other than the owner of the Falls Rapids, my guy Daniel, forever working hard. And Moms is in the program as well. Love you, Moms. And without further ado, let's get rolling. Now, bro, it's been a slow week. So we are going to start on the top with the most important news story in the entire world, and that is John Cena's heel turn. Let's talk about it. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Honestly, I have no sports news other than to start talking NCAA men's and women's basketball. So if I don't, it's on you.
No, I mean, we have some Cavs and Guardians news we'll get into, and I think it'll be a little bit of fun. But in terms of outside news, don't really have anything.
All right. Well, then let's get into our NCAA men's and women's hoops. Let's start on the men's side. And Drew, big games this week and a big upset. Number 4 Tennessee was upset by Ole Miss this week, unranked Ole Miss. But the other SEC team, the Auburn Tigers, still remain your unanimous number 1 team in the country. Duke still at number 2, but Houston has now moved up to number 3. Obviously, in next week's rankings, Tennessee will take a tumble, but next week's rankings don't matter.
Yeah, some kind of teams kind of just jockeying for a position near the end going into conference tournament play, which will be next week. But some group of 5 conferences have started their conference tournaments. I know the ASUN, the Atlantic Sun Conference, and the most insane conference tournament that I've ever seen in my life with the Sun Belt has started. Just to give a preface, the 1 and 2 seeds of this tournament get a quadruple bye in the tournament, basically getting an automatic bid to the semifinal in that bracket. It's literally just a V all the way down between teams. It's absolutely insane. Go check it out. It's crazy, but those are the ones that I really enjoy kind of more than the bigger ones, because the bigger ones you kind of know who's going in. You maybe have 1 or 2 teams, but those smaller ones are so much fun because you get to actually kind of get a little bit of a viewing to see who might be that team, because there's one every year that gets to knock out one of those big boys, and it's really fun to watch.
The bracket is hilarious. I want to give you a shout out because you sent it to me before it gained a lot of traction as for being as entertaining as it seemed. And I also want to give a shout out because Mr. Fielding is in the building. Our Rapids guys checking in nice and early. Appreciate that. But yeah, here, let me go back to our. But yes, conference championships about to kick off. It's about to get real. I contemplated not even putting the records in because who cares at this point? These 25 teams, for the most part, somewhat locked in. I want to give a big shout out to Rick Pitino and St. John's. Rick Pitino's now won a conference championships in every conference, but ones that don't exist anymore. Back in like the 40s. I think it's time to start talking about him in the pantheon of all-time greatest college coaches. But yeah, and I also want to St. Mary's Gales, 27-4 in the year, making a nice run there. Obviously, those smaller teams need to do good in their conference tournaments, but when you're high ranked like there, sometimes it doesn't matter. So look out for them as well. Obviously, no Cincinnati Bearcats, no Notre Dame Fighting Irish, and wide receiver Florida Falls Rapids. What's going on, Mari? Appreciate you checking in as well. Now let's jump over to the women's side.
A little better for you.
Yeah, Texas, your number 1 team in the country still, followed by first time being this high in the rankings in over 10 years, the USC Trojans, followed by the UConn Huskies, UCLA, South Carolina, and all the way down to number 6 this week, my Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Took an L against Florida State. But I do want to give some shout outs to the South Dakota State Jackrabbits sneaking in the top 25 there. Nice 26-3 record. So good to see some smaller teams making some runs here in the women's college basketball. Give me your thoughts on the top 25. I'm not going to say too much because the women are going to dominate my Straub Bro of the week.
Oh, absolutely. And listen, I think that we are kind of seeing now with I would say, unfortunately, the Notre Dame loss, how just even this women's kind of our league is going to be in terms of the tournament, where you were going to have some teams that, typically are the ones that dominate. It's going to be a team that maybe comes out of nowhere that really hasn't won. Typically is going to be a team that maybe make a deep run, kind of similar to the men's is now, which honestly just shows how much the women's game has grown.
I'm gonna make a prediction here. I'm gonna cap it at 8. I think there are 8 legitimate national championship teams in women's college basketball, and I don't think we've ever said that. Now, my bracket is gonna have Notre Dame all the way, but that has nothing to do with it. And because we continue with our rapid shout outs, the kicker is in the building. Bobby, what's going on? Bobby's interview is ready. I just have to find time to make room for a 9-minute interview to drop. Bobby's gonna need some time. Bobby's gonna need some space. My kicker talks, and I like that. Okay, he doesn't just make kicks; he talks. But Bobby's interview will be dropping soon too.
Speaking of brackets, by the way.
Speaking of brackets, go ahead.
I'll drop this down real quick because I promised it last week.
Okay.
And I delivered literally the next day, and I sent it to Ken. The Straub Bro Sports Show men's and women's bracket challenge is officially live. Obviously, we don't know who's going to be in the tournament right now, but they are live. You are able to join if you go to the ESPN Tournament Challenge app type in Straub Sports Show in both the men's and the women's bracket. They are right there. You click add, you go in there, and then as soon as brackets are live, you are able to make a bracket. You are allowed to fill one out, and then we, every week on the Straub Sports Show, will post the top 5 point totals for the men's and the women's. So get your brackets ready, get them all put up, and as soon as they drop, fill it out, and we will update you guys. We'll make our own brackets as well, so just be ready.
I've already put them in the Rapids media staff chat. I'm calling out to my players. I want all of my Rapids players in this. I want to fill this thing up. I want some bragging rights. I want some smack talking. I want to win, and I want to win again. Oh, I didn't win the win. I almost won the win.
You were close. You were close, man. I'll tell you.
But I want to win. So yeah, get in there. Straub Sports Show, NCAA men's and women's bracket challenge. The fact that you can just go in there and type our name in there is just pretty dope. But yes, so that'll do it for your news. Now, before we jump into our Cavaliers talk, we got a big Cavaliers, a lot of news to talk about in terms of the Cavaliers. I apologize. It is time for your Straub bruh of the week. It is time to hand out some back slaps or some backhands, some head slaps, some bonehead moves. Straub, I get to go first. And I got to talk about our Cleveland Cavaliers. Mr. Ty Jerome, me and you need to have a conversation, young man. He was fined this week by the NBA for not just criticizing NBA officials, name dropping the female official he was specifically upset with. Bro, first of all, I know you've been in the NBA a little bit, but $25,000 is a lot, regardless of how much money you make. 2, the last thing that this team needs, okay, and it's not negativity in terms of the media, okay, this team is going to need calls come playoff time, okay? You are not getting out of Boston without some calls. And you know where some of those calls are going to be needed? When the first team's on the bench and the second team's in, and maybe a couple of the starters on Boston are in, and somebody's driving to the basket and can pick up an extra foul on Jason Tatum, pick up an extra foul on Jaylen Brown, but we're not getting a whistle because some said official who has the other official's back goes, I ain't calling this. Keep your mouth shut. I understand being critical of NBA officials. I follow all the pages. I know how awful they have been this year. They have been horrendous. Criticize the officials, fine. Don't name call. Don't name drop. It only goes horribly wrong. Sorry. I didn't like it.
No, I get it. It's something that I think is deeply divided because while there is obviously a new school of thought of you should hold these refs accountable, we still haven't gotten to a point where, well, 1, it's happening, or 2, that it's not going to negatively affect an outcome in the game because there's still going to be, it's still up, it's still a human element to it. So I get what you're getting at. Right. I am definitely of the mindset of, listen, these refs need to be kind of held accountable. If a guy has a bad game, if a guy makes a bad turnovers, he's going to get called out in the media. He's going to be like, that's on me. The refs really don't have that same kind of, they don't get that mirror put into their faces often.
No, I get it. I agree, and it's tough for us because, a lot of the things that we're critical of about soccer we're positive about in all the other sports. However, one of the things that we are all critical about every sport in America, but the one thing that me and Straub can lean on in terms of soccer is you make a mistake on Saturday in the EPL, you are not reffing the next week. Or you are being moved down to the championship or League One. There are immediate consequences in soccer for referees when they blow decisions. That doesn't happen. I mean, the NFL will remove a crew if they mess up in the playoffs early on. I've seen that happen this past year, but that's it. It's not gonna work if you're not holding guys accountable. And they're so against holding guys accountable in leagues like Major League Baseball that they're going to go to an electronic strike zone just to not hold these guys accountable.
And so I'll go on this. So with baseball, it's possible because everything that is needed to be called in baseball is very neutral. It is a strike or a ball. It is a safe or an out. It is a foul ball or a home run. Yada yada. They're very thing. The issue with sports like basketball or football or hockey or anything like that in soccer is that things are so gray in certain times into what is a foul, what isn't a foul, what is a catch, what isn't a catch, stuff like that, where while some things would work with robot refs, a lot of what is being called in these sports, we just don't have the technology to really kind of put up there and allow an artificial referee to make a call on that, because there is such a wide scale of what is and what isn't that it's really hard to do it, unlike baseball.
No, I agree. I mean, the electronic,
and we'll get there, Nick, don't worry.
They're putting an electronic thing into the ball in the NFL now, so we'll know where the ball lands. Once again, hilarious to soccer fans because we've had that technology in the ball for I think almost at least 5 years.
Wait, goal line technology?
I want to say 10.
That's been 10 to 15 at this point. I remember playing FIFA as a kid and having it in the video game.
I mean, it's just hilarious that it doesn't exist in the NFL at this point. I mean, it's 70-year-old men with a chain putting cards in between. You know what I mean?
They're going to move on from the chains next year.
And how about that? We're moving on up. About time. So we'll move on. Go ahead. It is your turn.
Yes. So my Straub Bro of the week. I would say to the fans of this team, but I think that it's more a pain and suffering for them than anything. So I won't give it to them, but I'll give it to the actual team, and that is the Seattle Seahawks. The Seattle Seahawks, in a span of a week, went from having one of the best wide receiver rooms in the NFL to early on in the morning having a still pretty decent one, and then at the end of the day, maybe an hour later, having a very bare bones wide receiver room. Why do I say this? Because at the start of Tuesday, they had Jackson Smith-Njigba, DK Metcalf, and Tyler Lockett. There was a report in the morning that said that Seattle had released Tyler Lockett. Now, while he is 32 years old, he still had 600 yards last year and was still a very serviceable third string wide receiver. But hey, you know what? You let him go. Maybe you get a new guy in the draft if you feel like you have a need there, yada, yada. If that wasn't bad enough for Seattle Seahawks fans, an hour later, it was reported that DK Metcalf had requested a trade, which, quote, angered Seattle Seahawks management after they had just released Tyler Lockett. Now, Seattle, you cannot be mad at a receiver for requesting a trade after you just released one. It is obviously... It is a sign that they do not trust your process. They do not like the direction your team is going in. And that is more on you than on him. He is making a decision that is best for not even just his payment because he's getting paid well. It is for his career and actual ability to win with a team that is not Seattle because there is no real direction there. And so Seattle fans, I'm sorry, but your whole team is my Straub Bro of the week because awful.
He's just the last one in a line of wide receivers to make this move.
Yeah,
between Diggs and Jefferson and it's what it is. All right, time for your Straub Bro of the week. And it's time to create your own wave. We at the Straub Bro Sports Show want to give a big shout out to somebody who's been with us since day one of the podcast, and that's Austin Fink over at Create Your Own Wave Apparel. Make sure you follow them on Instagram at Create Your Own Wave 2021 for all the hottest new designs, and get your clothing at cyowapparel.myshopify.com. Don't ride the wave, create your own. On it this week. They're so much better. I went back. I gave it that Straub Bro Sports Show podcast oomph. Okay. All right. It is time for your Straub Bro of the week, presented by Create Your Own Wave Apparel. Don't ride the wave, create your own, and become a Straub Bro of the week. Hit it.
Yes. So while you spent your Straub Bro of the week hating on the Cavaliers, I am going to spend my Straub Bro of the week praising this amazing Cavaliers team as they are currently in the midst of a 12-game win streak, which is the third 12-game win streak they've had this season, which is the second time a team has done this in history, other than the 06 and 07 Dallas Mavericks. Also, they are the first team to officially clinch a playoff spot, which is insane. They are also 8 games above Boston in the Eastern Conference after just beating them, and obviously we'll get on that. But this Cavaliers team is on a historic pace. 51-10 is fantastic. Obviously, as the Phil Jackson quote goes, a team that wins 40 games before it loses 20 games is a team to be threatened by in the playoffs. We've hit 50 before we've hit 20, and so this is a team that is hopefully going to do a lot of damage in the playoffs, and I'm really, really excited for this team. So Cleveland Cavaliers, Straub Bro of the week.
I'm going to save all of my ammo and my points for and everyone stop dropping that in the comments. We're going to talk about it, I promise. I'm going to save it because we won't have it. I'm going to use what you said in your Straub Bro of the week, and I'm going to tell you why it's not necessarily a good thing.
Of course, because you're a very nervous Cleveland sports fan. I understand.
No, I'm a nervous fan altogether, okay? Because that you can throw in Notre Dame with that as well. But all right, time for my Straub Bros of the week, and I'm going to start off not as a joke, how I started it at the top of the show, but it be somewhat serious. One of my Straub Bros of the week is actually John Cena for the heel turn. I'm glad that a guy gets to kind of do something fun on his way out. But in all seriousness notes, let's get to the sports, baby. First off, Hannah Hidalgo, your ACC Player of the Year, Nation's number 3 scorer, and ACC Defensive Player of the Year as a point guard. Go Irish. Let's go. I don't care about no 6 ranking. All right, I'll see you here in March. Word I'm not going to say. Secondly, somebody I want to give a big shout out here. Somebody who we talked about a lot last year, I think a little bit earlier in the year, and then it's kind of fallen off the show's radar, but is not fallen off. Well, shouldn't have fallen off the national radar. Haley Van Lith was named Big 12 Newcomer of the Year and Player of the Year after transferring in and helping TCU claim a regular season championship. Her 5th and final year. Not 100% sure how it's going to go in the league. I think she's somebody that can come off the bench and be a 6th woman of the year. I don't know if the size will be able to be a starting point guard in the league, but you never know. You pair her with somebody else, you see what happens. But I think she's got a future in the league. Big shout out to her. Only 3 this week. That's not bad. Those are
listen.
Bros
Yeah,
of the
Haley Van Lith is a winner. Like wherever she goes, she has won. And so let's get you put her with some, a big dominant forward in the WNBA. You get her just to facilitate the ball and get around some of those bigger guards, those not super quick guards. It's going to be a great pairing in the league. I don't care what you guys have to say. She is a winner wherever she goes.
I like it. Listen, we don't hate on any of the women. Okay, I like them. I like Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, so I don't care. You're not going to convince me otherwise. All right, let's get to it. It's time to bring it home. It's time to bring it local. It's time to guard the land, and to do so, I want to introduce our newest sponsor on the podcast. Straub, put that
We
down
want to
for
give
me.
a big shout out to our newest sponsor on the Straub World Sports Show, and that's Marvis Hood at Limitless Health, Wellness, and Training. Limitless Health, Wellness, and Training is an all-encompassing health and wellness company dedicated to helping everyone achieve what might seem hard or impossible. They offer in-person, one-on-one training, virtual training, and small classes. They personalize all workouts because everyone is their own person, and your workout should reflect that. Make sure you get in contact with Marvis Hood via email, phone, or Instagram to set up your training now.
Absolutely. Big shout out to Marvis Hood. He is also the offensive coordinator for the Falls Rapids, doing his own thing as well. Big shout out to him and big shout out to Limitless. We're glad to have them aboard and glad to give them a shout out as well. Let's guard the land. Let's talk some Cavaliers. Nope. Let's get the baseball news out of the way. Let's talk about the Guardians real quick because I honestly had one sentence written down about the Guardians talk, and that was still spring training. But there was some news today, and that is the Cleveland Guardians have signed former outfielder Tyler Naquin to a minor league deal as a pitcher. The silence kind of tells it all there, bro.
I can see it now. The Cleveland Guardians are in Game 7 of the World Series.
Oh, dear God.
It is 7-5, and it's the 8th inning. We have exhausted our pitchers, and who comes strutting out to lock down the 8th inning before Emmanuel Clase comes in? Tyler Naquin, throwing 85-mile-an-hour fastballs, Josh Tomlin style, getting 3 straight pop-ups in the infield, roaring up the crowd before the 9th inning as we go on to secure its first championship since the 50s. Ken, how long until he gets cut from the team?
I was going to say, and I'm sorry, YouTube, but you're fucking delusional. It's not a major league deal with them. It is a strictly minor league deal. I don't know. And I guess this is my fault because I literally read this while I was typing out the StreamYard for the show. So I had no time to dive in. So I don't know if he pitched in college. I don't know if he pitched in high school. I don't know if he was drafted as a pitcher. I don't know if he's just desperate to stay in Major League Baseball, but sure. I mean, we're one of the best pitching organizations in the world. Remember? We can turn anybody into a pitcher. Remember? This is what we do. Remember? Right?
So
I don't know. Let's talk about Cavaliers. I don't know.
I was just gonna say he does have great arm strength. I think he averaged about 92 miles an hour in his arm strength.
That's
Anthony
throwing
Ghost
from the outfield to like a radius as big as my stomach.
Anthony Ghost, who was a former position player, made the transition to pitching and made 31 appearances for us between 2021 and 2024.
Rick Anfield did it back in the day.
So we have a recent person who's pitched in the majors after being a position player for a while on our team. So while it's funny and we're going to laugh at it and it's going to be something that obviously as soon as we're done talking about it, we're not going to bring up ever again, it's very possible that halfway through the season, we see a Tyler Naquin relief appearance randomly throughout the year. And that's just something that we're going to have to be okay with because you never know with these kind of guys because they will nowadays they will find any way to make sure that they elongate their career no matter what it is. And honestly, these past couple years, we've seen this happen more and more frequently because these guys have such great arm strength. They go, why not?
You're going to make me talk Guardians when I didn't want to talk Guardians. He can't be any worse than the guy we picked up in the Naylor trade who had like a 15 ERA. The last
That's what
time
I'm saying.
I happened to look. So I hope it works. He makes the roster. Well, he won't make the roster, but he remains in the minor league, does not get cut, And he's Straub Bro of the week. And if he makes a call up, he's Straub Bro of the week for a month. I'll just keep giving it to him over the same appearance. I don't even care. Can we talk about the Cavaliers now?
Of course. I just thought it was great.
Thank you. Now, as Straub mentioned in his Straub Bro of the week, a 50-win team, setting all these, blowing everything. Here's the problem. All right, yeah, I'm going to halt the train. I'm going to throw all kinds of water on the fire. You're getting to a point where people are starting to look at it, the regular season, so much that you are really putting pressure on yourself that you're getting into, okay, that's cool, but now you got to win it all. Or this is nothing. Or this season's a waste. And we weren't doing that a couple weeks ago. We were still having fun. Now, oh, you got 50. Oh, the Phil Jackson quote. Oh, you clinched a playoff spot in March. Okay. Don't go on a losing streak come April. Or towards the end of March. Or it's going to be, what's wrong with the Cavaliers? What's wrong with I'm just saying.
Well, one, this is why I've taken a break from social media, because the amount of just toxicity in terms of sports takes made me absolutely just insane. Because
you still send me a lot of stuff for someone who's on a social media break.
This is from like either Bleacher Report articles or it's from people that other people have sent me. This is not me whatsoever, because I can't stand sports comments whatsoever in terms of debates.
That's why we do this.
But also, that what you have just described is something that this entire Cavs season have avoided at all costs. I am enjoying this Cavs run. Every time we win, it makes me just excited. There is no playoff mindset whatsoever right now, because this isn't a LeBron team. This isn't a team that we're going to win 50 and whatever seed we are doesn't matter, because come playoff time, that's when we're going to win. And if we don't win, then it's a story. This Cavs team has not made it to an Eastern Conference final yet since LeBron. And so, listen, I'm enjoying this run. I think this team is built for a long playoff run and to be taken seriously. But I'm not going to worry about that until we hit round one of the playoffs, because that's just not something that I need to worry about right now. Because as a Cleveland sports fan, we don't get these kinds of seasons very often. And unfortunately, the only time we did is because we had the greatest basketball player who ever lived on our basketball team. And so, listen, that's not a hot take on this program. We've said this multiple times. So what I'm saying is that what we are doing is obviously historic and is something fun. And I am doing my bit to make sure that other people aren't ruining that for me. And I need to preface this to all the Cleveland Cavaliers fans that are watching this program. Don't let it affect you. Don't make it be like, oh, but what if we don't do in the play? Who cares right now? We're not in April. We're not in May. We are in March, baby. The freaking March Madness hasn't even happened yet. Watch the Cavs, enjoy it, go watch some March Madness and have a great time. And then when you hit April and we're down to the last 5 games of the season, okay, start thinking about matchups. Start thinking about how this works. Right now, just enjoy the ride, man. We're blowing teams out by 20 on a weekly basis. Who cares what happens in the playoffs right now?
Gotta have something to talk about every week. Listen, he agrees with you. Ray agrees with you. I do. I like the addition of Javonte Green as well. It's been nice to see him step in. Ty Jerome has continued to ball, other than talking too much. And like I said, DeAndre Hunter is. I gotta go clip what I said the day we traded for him, because it has absolutely come to fruition the way he's just turned into one of the better 3-and-D guys in the league.
Yeah, and I'll eat crow for that take, because I was a little cautious. I wouldn't say I was against the trade, but I was very cautious for that, and he's proved me wrong on that. And I'll give him credit for that, for proving my doubts wrong, almost immediately.
That is a take that I am more interested in pumping about me being right more than I'm more about rubbing it in that somebody was wrong on that one. I understood the hesitation. Now, we're going to talk about something else basketball related, because I said we were going to talk about it last week, and your Cavaliers and I know I'm a Cavaliers fan too, but you and all the rest of the Cavaliers fans distracted me, and then we moved on. And we're going to talk about my other team, and that's my Los Angeles Lakers. Okay, now that they've got 2 of my favorite players in the NBA. Okay, now listen. Long before okay, you were ever born, okay, and I watched the NBA as a kid, the Cavaliers sucked, okay.
Do you know what? This makes so much sense now. As the Cowboys fan, as the Notre Dame fan, yeah, we're getting the Lakers fan, the LA Galaxy fan.
No, it's not.
It's fantastic. Like this aligns right in.
Because the Lakers weren't great either. I was a Michael Jordan fan, okay, with the black 23 jersey, with the Fisher type hoop, counting down 3, 2, 1, okay, constantly, okay. Michael Jordan retires. Cavaliers still suck. This great human being, the greatest, my favorite basketball player of all time, Kobe Bryant, comes into the league. I follow Kobe. I like the Lakers. Cavaliers draft LeBron. I get to come back home. I root for my Cavaliers. I've never lost the fact that I like stars in the NBA. I've always loved LeBron. I love Luka. You put them together, I'm in. Okay? Now, my Los Angeles Lakers, second in the West, okay? And I'm going to say it now. They are now the threat in the West, not Oklahoma City. LeBron James, Luka Doncic, and the Los Angeles Lakers are now the team to beat in the Western Conference.
First, I knew there was some sort of like fair weather fan and rooting for the perennial winner, but I didn't realize it went that far. That's my fault for not realizing how deep the roots went in that.
I just like the NBA.
I just like the NBA, and I just like the Cowboys, and I just like football. I like stars, so I root for the team with the big star in the middle. Anyways,
because I'm a star, baby.
Okay. Just gonna let that corny ass line just go right past. So listen, okay, if we're talking about the Lakers, what's up, Haley? Appreciate you for checking in.
Love you, hey.
I want to say I'm not gonna go as far as say not the Oklahoma City Thunder because they're still the best defensive team in the NBA by a mile. Like, listen, I love the Cavs and they are a great defensive. This Oklahoma City defense is ridiculous. One of the best defenses in a long while.
Hold on. I'm gonna address something. I was a Jay.
Yeah. Okay. No, yeah, Bobby. It was a Yankee hat.
I don't care. I still have it. Okay. I still have it. I don't care. I still have the Yankees coat. I don't care. All right. I don't care.
It's terrible. No. I did forget about that, Dad. So that's fair.
Don't the Rock.
Anyways.
You're gonna say I'm worshiping the devil, or that I was at a Diddy party because I like Jay-Z's music. Go ahead.
This is going off the rails so much. No, but I agree with you that other than the Thunder, I think. Other than the Thunder, I think that the Lakers are your next team there. I'm giving Oklahoma City all the credit. Listen, I know technically we're talking about how regular season doesn't matter, and to a point, that's true. But I think that you have to look at the whole body of work. And while the Lakers obviously have this now playoff-ready team, this Thunder team, just as an overall, is better. They're not playoff ready, but I think this is a team that is going to shred all doubts when it comes playoff time.
Listen, man, Luka and Kyrie dragged that team to the finals last year. Luka and LeBron, you got Batman and Superman together. And my guy Dalton. Okay, I'm just saying. All right, I wanted my Lakers take to get in. Okay, more than anything else. So, all right, you got anything else on the NBA?
No, we still got 20-something games left. We're still kind of chugging along, so nothing.
We are in one of what I would call the most depressing parts of sports, where we literally only have 2 sports going. I mean, we've got 3. We've got college basketball, we've got the NBA, and we've got hockey. Unfortunately, I'm not gonna lie, I don't watch enough hockey to be able to sit up here and talk to you about it. Other than Alex Ovechkin chasing down Wayne Gretzky, Wayne Gretzky's all-time goal record, which, if you have ever grown up as a kid who was part of the SportsCenter rerun, you have seen that graphic over and over. about how the most unbreakable records in sports, and always in one of the top three was Gretzky's goal scoring record, because it was just considered untouchable. So I do want to give a shout out to Alexander Ovechkin as he chases that record, because I have been keeping an eye on that. I have been watching all of the hockey. I've been watching that. So, all right. So we're keeping it quick today. I think we might end in under an hour, which would be the first time ever, other than a special episode. Right. But what's it time for? It's time for some footy. So stick around. It's about to get good. Now, all I'm going to say is this. When we're going to talk about some EPL, and we're going to talk about some MLS. I have the mic. I have control of the comments. So be nice. It's been a rough week.
I don't know what that's about, but okay. So yeah, listen, we got some soccer, but as a recap, we did not have EPL last weekend. We had FA Cup, and as you can see, there are now only 8 teams remaining with 1 championship team left. That is obviously Preston North End, as you see, beat Burnley 3-0. But in the other games, Brighton beat Newcastle 2-1. 3 games ended in penalties. Bournemouth beating Wolves in penalties 5-4. Unfortunately for Ken, Fulham beat Manchester United 4-3 on pens, and Nottingham Forest beat Ipswich 5-4. And also, unfortunately, Plymouth Argyle's fantastic run of beating Liverpool and leading Manchester City for a bit came crashing down as City scored 3 uncontested to beat them. Very unfortunate for them.
They were up 1-0. They had it. It
So,
was in the bag.
Not really, but that's okay. Great matches this week, though.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. Until you lose in pens, and then it sucks. And life was awful, and it ruined my weekend.
Hey, you made it further than I did, so I guess that's something to tip your hat on.
I don't care. I don't care. Oh, and of course, Manchester City fan Cinderella story over. Yeah, you're still the ugly stepsister, so calm down. That's all I got. I told you to be nice. I'm listen,
You're not being nice.
I know. I don't care. All my soccer teams suck, okay?
Yes, they do.
Keep it rolling.
Your LA Galaxy also lost in the Champions Cup to a team I've never heard of. So,
we sold our striker. 2 of our designated players aren't playing. 5 guys total from the championship team are still not back yet. I don't want to hear it. We'll be fine come playoff time if we make it.
Okay, if you make it there. Next up, obviously, we have Prem back this week, which is godsend. And as we can see here, Liverpool get an easy match there. Arsenal get potentially a tough match against Manchester United, depending on what Manchester United team shows up. Forest and City play each other, which is better for me because I play Leicester, and as long as I win, regardless of that result, I jump into the top 4. So that's going to be fantastic. But that will be a good game, I believe. And then, honestly, not a crazy ton of good games other than that. Not even some fun relegation battle games this week. But I think that top 4 race will get it pretty interesting this week.
No, the story is Manchester United has a possibility to be in 16th place at the end of this weekend.
That is sure the story. I don't believe anyone's talking about that. Other than you and whoever people like to hate on you. I think that's the only real other people. Ken is going through something today, so I'm trying to drag this along.
I don't know what listen, these games suck this week. My team sucked.
I don't think the games were fun to watch. I think you just lost and you got upset about it. That's really the games were fun to watch. I had a good time watching.
I'm afraid to watch Manchester United this weekend. Okay, although Arsenal has not been great. That's what I'm saying. But no, I don't. I could end the weekend in 16th place, and you're like, I don't know what's wrong with you.
Ken. Anyways, so there's that, and then another tournament that me and Ken are not a part of, but had some really fun games this week. Yes. We had a Champions League leg. Liverpool, after getting outshot, I want to say 16-2, pull a goal out of their behinds and win a crucial leg 1 against PSG.
Is there a more unlikable game?
This game was literally all PSG until the final probably 2 minutes of the game, and that is when Liverpool strike. And honestly, this, while obviously Ken does not like Liverpool, this
And
is
no one likes PSG.
this is a team that literally has found any way to win. And no, I don't consider them lucky at all. I think that this Liverpool team found a way to win. It's the same.
The stat is
It's no, I know. It's this. It was more to Sean. It was the same way Chelsea won both of their Champions Leagues. We got outshot by Bayern like 20-5. And also they got dominated by City in terms of percentage. Great teams find ways to win even if they're getting beaten. I think that's exactly what this Liverpool team is, where you are getting outclassed by PSG the entire game, but your defense remains strong. They make crucial plays, and you get the goal you needed to win. Absolutely fantastic by Liverpool, honestly, in my opinion.
Okay, we will please move on from that one. The Madrid game I did watch was beautiful.
Fantastic game. I had a buddy who only watches Premier League, and we only got him into it last year, asking if we should watch La Liga more than the EPL because of this game.
Well, no, because
I said I corrected him, but like that's a good game to go off of.
The big games in La Liga, yes, but no, not just an average week. I wouldn't put it over the Premier League, but yeah, roll through the rest of these results.
Yes, Barcelona, after going down to 10 men, pull off the win against Benfica, another team that find ways to win. Although Benfica's manager, I can't remember his name, says he likes his odds in the second leg. So I'm curious as to if this is just talk or if he has something. Okay. Aston Villa, after some poor showings in the Prem, show why they're still in the Champions League with a 3-1 win at Club Brugge. Dortmund failed to win against Lille after a late goal, puts them behind, and now they have to go into the second leg chasing. Dortmund, a team that just seems to get more unlucky as weeks go on in this, as the league just kind of ran away from them, and they had their hopes in the Champions League. Now that's in question after this. That's going to be interesting. Inter Milan take care of business against Feyenoord, and then if we're talking about taking care of business against a Dutch team, Arsenal hangs 7 on PSV as, okay, I guess if you can't win in the league, you're going to absolutely dominate the Champions League. However, the winner of this does place Real Madrid, and so we will see if that actually means anything. Hopefully
hopefully they're goaled out before the weekend. But
yeah. And finally, Bayern Munich absolutely handle Leverkusen 3-0 as any kind of rumor that Leverkusen was going to step up and take on the Giants like they did last season have been extremely put out. And so, yeah, we got another leg to go. Obviously, I would say probably, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I would say, games are still in flux. Obviously, I think the Bayern game and the PSV game are out. It's a toss-up between if Bruges or Feyenoord can come back, so I think those are maybe. But all the other ones are absolutely up for grabs, and so I think we're still going to have great games and great close games upcoming next week, which will be a lot of fun.
Yep. Now, what you're not going to do is skip over the MLS that quickly, because there was the only thing that I have enjoyed reading about soccer.
I lost by like 5 last week.
No, that's okay. That's okay. I'm going to just sprinkle this news in so Ken can get ready to have the best summer ever. And that is the LA Galaxy have reached out to Cristiano Ronaldo's people about signing him to a contract once his contract is up at Al Nassr, which is in the summer. The Stars come to the LA Galaxy. To have him there would be amazing. And yeah, that was about the happiest story I got.
So it's funny because when you sent me that, I initially went, oh, great. Like, that's going to do any good for you. But the more I thought about it, you have a 35-year-old striker from Columbus that is well past his prime, and it's very obvious when you watch him play. Cristiano Ronaldo being him up top, depending on obviously how good he can adapt to the MLS, in terms of now he's 36, 37. It would be a really good opportunity. Obviously, I think that you are going to have to shell out basically a Messi deal, because just given Ronaldo's I don't want to say ego, but his pride. He's not going to take anything less than what Messi got at Inter Miami. And so that's going to be kind of the thing you have to kind of deal with.
Don't you have stake in the Clippers? I don't care.
Like that's what's going to happen. But if you can get him, you can lock him down. I think it's a great move for you. Like I said, depending on, because I haven't watched any Al Nassr games, how Ronaldo's fitness is going to keep up. Because yes, obviously you have the Saudi Arabian League. I believe the MLS is a better league and a more competitive league than the Saudi League, and so you're going to have to play a little bit better and maybe play a Messi schedule, like you said. Not playing the second game of the season where maybe he only plays half the games. Maybe he doesn't play any non-important games. And then he only shows up in the playoffs. So we'll see.
I think it's different because he's played consistently there for the Saudi League. He's played week in, week out. He's played 90 minutes. Yes, I know the MLS League is tougher, but it's not like the Premier League where you're playing multiple games a week. It is usually once per week, excuse me, which will help. I think his talent level, I think we are talking now. It's not fair to bring up like the David Beckham and even like Robbie Keane when he came to the MLS, because the league itself was so much worse that these players came in and dominated. David Villa at New York City. But we're talking, if Ronaldo comes in, we're talking better than what Zlatan was. Zlatan came in, was the leading goal scorer, was phenomenal. The team around him at the Galaxy was awful, so they didn't do much. But I'm talking league dominance. If Ronaldo comes in, and hopefully if the Galaxy can hang on until they get some guys back and healthy until the summer and can be in playoff contention, you bring in Cristiano Ronaldo, and you're a contender to bring the title back and defend your title and bring it back home. Now, I want to shift over real quick before we do throw it back to you one more time. Is he just going to play? Thoughts on Messi not playing the second game of the season? Is he only going to play home games? I said this one going to work from the beginning. They're all like and I don't understand because he's younger than Cristiano Ronaldo. He looks done. He doesn't look like a player who I know he is phenomenally talented. He is a world generational talent. He's always going to have spurts where he looks good against any team. He can't do it on a consistent basis anymore. And I don't know why we're surprised. Cristiano Ronaldo is a fitness god, okay? And keeps his body in that kind of shape. Messi's always been in great to good shape, but has never been like that.
No, yeah. And, one, I think he's just making sure that he's fully healthy for the game in Cleveland. I think he's making sure that's his ultimate goal. But being serious, so I can watch him play. No, but to be fully serious, I think that's exactly the point. We have this player in Cristiano Ronaldo that literally, like Tom Brady, like LeBron James, literally their goal every offseason and during the season is to be in the absolute best shape you can possibly be in, regardless of whatever else is going on, regardless of vacation, regardless of time with his family. That is his goal, to stay in peak performance. Messi is playing with his dog, playing with his kids, going on vacation, doing stuff.
Won the World Cup.
Right. And so like what we fail to recognize is the norm isn't Ronaldo. The norm isn't LeBron. The norm isn't Tom Brady, because 99% of players don't do that.
No.
They have a 10, 15-year career if they're really good, and then they're done. Messi having this long of a career is solely due to the fact of how good he was, that even if he drops off, he's still at a level where he can compete. But there's a point where even like that, when you're not doing what Brady, LeBron, or Ronaldo were doing, even if the technical skill is there, the physical skill just is going to go away. And that's what we're seeing, where if you are going to get the best out of Messi, the longest that you can possibly get him, you are going to only be able to play him for half a season at most. And that's what we're seeing here. And like you said, I don't know why people are surprised. We said this from the beginning that team isn't going to play most of the regular season. Which is what was the downfall in the playoffs. And because they have spent so much money on four guys, there's the rest of the team is not complete. It's too top heavy with older guys who cannot play 90 minutes, who cannot play week in and week out. And it's also why I told you they would not be a leader in the Eastern Conference. Right. That's it. I just we couldn't listen. We talked about Ronaldo, so it was fair to talk about Messi. Messi can be the GOAT. Ronaldo to me is the greatest player of all time. I don't know how that works out, but Messi's won everything that there is to win, including a World Cup. I understand that Ronaldo hasn't, but what Ronaldo's continued to do at his level, and yeah, he's my guy, and he played for my team, so whatever. I'm biased. All right, now that will do it for most of the footy, but we of course have one segment left. My man, it is time to bring it home. The best United States men's national team segment in the world. Drew, Americans abroad. Thank you. Yes. Now, we didn't have that many this week, but there's some great news coming along. Now, of course, regardless of how much I save this, the first one's always messed up. So it is not Christian Pulisic that scored his second goal in a 2-1 win. I'm going to try to remember it as this goes on. Haji Wright, though, had his first appearance since November 9th for Coventry, that is now in a playoff position to be promoted to the Premier League, led by Coach Frank Lampard. Anyways, moving on, Chris Richards for Crystal Palace gets his first assist in that 3-1 win against Millwall that we saw. Alejandro Zendejas had a goal, an assist, and a man of the match in a 3-0 win. And also, in 2 weeks' time, which means next week, we're going to talk about it, will be the first time that we see a full men's national team since November as they take on Panama in the semifinals of the Nations League, and hopefully then the finals as they'll either play Mexico or Canada. I cannot wait. I know we've had some divide in our country, but it's time to come together for our United States men's national team, baby. Let's go. Absolutely. We will have that. We will break it down fully. It'll probably be United States men's national team in college basketball playoff. Johnny Cardoso, and I can't believe I forgot him because he scored a goal in a 2-1 win against Real Madrid to beat Real Madrid in La Liga. Absolutely fantastic for Johnny Cardoso. He's one that definitely watch getting called up because the way he's playing at Real Betis is fantastic. Hello. The guy who beat Real Madrid. Should we watch La Liga? I don't know. Absolutely. It was a great show, but we're not done because I messed up, but I don't forget all the way. And that is to make sure that while you're watching the Straub Sports Show, you get your bakery. We got to give a big shout out to the official bakery of the Straub Sports Show. That's Schmoopy's Sweets and Treats. Make sure you follow Schmoopy's Sweets and Treats on Facebook, where you jump into the DMs and get everything that you need. All your baked goods, allergy-free and gluten-free, with a full menu of breads, bagels, danishes, donuts, cheesecakes, muffins, danishes, and cannolis. Make sure you get in and get your orders in, free delivery in the local area. That's Schmoopy's Sweets and Treats. I don't forget my baked goods, baby. I was supposed to jump in on the front end of the footy, but I messed it up. Ooh, excuse me. I had to not get to the mic in time, so I apologize for that. Hold on. That's what this is for. Yeah, we keep it sanitary here on the Straub Sports Show. But shout out to Paul and some movie Sweets and Treats. Shout out to everybody for rocking with us today. Straub, give me some final thoughts. Yes, thank you everyone for listening, watching, commenting, however you digest this show. We absolutely love that you keep us engaged. Yeah, man, listen, this weekend I'll be traveling to the great Queen City of Cincinnati, going back to college. Going to be fantastic. Just going to have a great time. It's going to be like 60 degrees, and it's going to be 60s next week, which is going to be fantastic. So, hey, get out, go do some stuff. We finally don't have to deal with snow for a week, so go out and do some fun things.
Absolutely. I will be.
And then come back Tuesday because we're going to have a show on Tuesday.
Yes. Oh, yeah. That's a good point. Next week's show will be Tuesday. I will be busy at my first school dance on Thursday. Not my first school dance, but my son's first school dance. I will be accompanying my little guy. Right. I will be accompanying my little guy as we go Boo Scoop Boogie and open it up all over the dance floor. But that'll do it for us here on the Straub Bros Sports Show. I'm going to end it with a little Straub Bros Sports Show commercial, but that'll do it for us. I appreciate all of you who rock with us every week, viewers, commenters, whoever you are, however you digest us. We appreciate it. And please remember to love.
Make sure you follow the Straub Bros Sports Show all over social media. You can find us on X at Straub Bros Sports, on TikTok at the SBSS, on Instagram at Straub Bros Sports Show, and on Spotify, the Straub Bros Sports Show. And I want to give a big shout out as we've launched our YouTube page. That QR code will take you there, and it'll take you to the Straub Bros Sports Show YouTube page, your one-stop shop for everything Straub Bros Sports Show. Our interviews with Browns legends, our sit-downs with our Rapids football players, the podcast, and throwback to our interviews with Akron City FC. Make sure you like and subscribe today.